this is all connected to point 6, which is that God gives me adopting grace. I love this one because I'm a daddy with 5 kids. I tell you that every week. That's how much I like them. Okay? I really like being a dad. And the imagery here is this, that we're all like just horrible kids. You know, we're kids with our finger up our nose and our finger in the air. We're just those defiant, foul mouth, just cursing, stuff chucking, wildly disobedient, matted hair. Just we're those horrible, delinquent, undisciplined children. And God doesn't adopt us into his family because he went to the orphanage or the foster care home and he was looking for the best dressed, best mannered, best spoken kid. Right? God picks the worst kids. The reason he picks them is not because they're going to be easy, but because he's the only one who can change them. That's how good God is. The concept there is not the legal room like justification, it's the living room, which is adoption. And God's not seen in this understanding biblically as a lawyer, but as a father. It says it this way in Ephesians 1, 4-6. In love he predestined us for adoption, there's our word, as sons, which is a great honor, through Jesus Christ, according to the purpose of his will, to the praise of his glorious grace. And what this does, this transforms our motive for holiness. See, when God adopts us by grace, now imagine being that kid who never had a dad. Imagine being that kid who really needs a dad. Imagine being that kid who deep down really wants a dad. Imagine being that kid who is a horrible kid. Nobody wants to even adopt or parent or invest in you because you're impossible. And then the best dad in the world shows up. Says, I'm going to love you no matter what. I'm not going to do a 6-month foster care plan with you to where if it works out, I'll adopt you. I'm just going to adopt you today. I'm going to give you my last name. I'm going to take you home. I'm going to love you, feed you, clothe you, care for you, look after you, teach you, forgive you. And no matter what you do, nothing will ever change. My actions toward you are without any contingencies, without any requirements. That's God. This transforms holiness. See, we're not kids who are trying to be presentable so that we'll get picked for adoption. We're the kids that are so well loved, undeservedly, that we want to obey our dad because he's the best. We want to follow our dad because we trust him. We want to honor our dad because he's been so kind. And since he's already given us his last name, we want to live in such a way that we bring honor to his name. God adopts us into his family. That is the church. He gives us the name of Christian. He chooses to do us good. And it's his kindness that leads us to repentance. And it changes us into different kids. I've experienced that. I totally get God as a father. I'm so glad for adopting grace. And I'm so glad to be part of this church, the family of God.